Hey everyone, welcome back to the Diablo 3 Season 3, Episode 3. And so, in between episodes, I wanted to do a little bit of grinding to work towards the bounty, the next bounty, because the last one took forever and took up the entire episode. I wanted to get through it, but I found two goblins. One got away from me, but it was one of the new goblins, so I retrospectively should have probably started the episode then. But I found this really weird green spire that was shooting green lightning at me, and then I found a goblin next to it. So we're going to try to get the goblin and hope something good drops. I don't know. We'll find out. And then we'll go over some of the skills because I've unlocked a couple of runes, and obviously, as you can see here behind the pause menu, the number 3. So let's get to it. Let's try to get that goblin. Is it one of the new ones? Nope, it's just a regular treasure goblin. Okay. And one of the reasons why the other goblin I lost him is because there were so many enemies around that I just took too much damage and died. But having leap with all these enemies around trying to get this goblin is actually going to be a benefit to me. Okay, nope, crap. Damn! Not enough damage done. Shit. When the treasure goblin gets to the point where he's not running away and his portal is not going away when you hit him, that means that the treasure goblin is going to go bye-bye and there's nothing you can do about it. And then that purple spire thing is just gone for some reason. I'm a little confused as to what that was and what just happened, but I guess okay. And then we have finally found a mighty weapon that is one-handed. Now I'll lose a little bit of my damage and a little bit of my toughness, but ultimately I think this is going to be a better option for me because I do not like slow swinging weapons, which that one was. So that was getting to be rather annoying. So let's finish this. The third bounty, which I am on. So we entered the Vault of the Assassins. We were working towards the 100 enemies to kill, and now we have to kill Mage Lord Mizgan. So the attack in my second slot is really nice because depending on how many enemies it hits, it will heal me. Deal 300% weapon damage, and deal 300% weapon damage to all nearby enemies. You heal 4% of your maximum life for each enemy hit. Maximum of 5% health. And then I've got one of my new shouts, which is one of the new categories there. Shout with great ferocity, reducing damage done by enemies within 25 yards by 20% for 15 seconds. So it's a really good move to reduce the amount of damage that they can do on me. Help keeping me alive a little bit longer. Ooh, Rugged Hands got a rare. Ooh, real nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that on. And what else? We just have to kill the 100 enemies, right? Yes, this thing, the Guardian Tower. Is it me or is that new, or am I just losing my mind? Because I don't remember it, but I could also be wrong. The last time I went through Act 2 was actually a while ago. I'll pick an act that I really like and go through it a couple of times on adventure mode. It also depends on what the game spawns for me. Something we haven't gone over yet is wherever the game, whatever act it spawns you in when you launch the game, which I haven't figured out how it determines which act it spawns you in yet, but depending on where it spawns you, the act you spawn in and the act after are usually bonus acts. You'll get bonus I think experience for doing the bounties in that area. And if you spawn in Act 5, it'll usually be Act 5 and Act 4. That will give you your bonuses. So only because the enemies are grouped here nicely and in front of me, I'm going to go ahead and kill them all and meet you guys back in town. Okay, back in town, and because we got level 15, the Templar learned a new move. Charges a target, dealing 280% weapon damage and stunning all enemies within 8 yards for 3 seconds, or delivers a massive blow to an enemy for 800% weapon damage. Let's go with the massive blow for 800%. And I should have been giving him weapons. I kept forgetting that some of the weapons I was finding I should be giving him. So that's something that we should also do relatively soon, is get him some new gear. Let's go ahead and break down everything. I need a shield. Can I make them now? I can. All right. Since I was using a two-handed weapon, I got rid of my shield. And then, yep, nice 98 defense shield. Some strength, vitality, life per second, and thorns damage. All right. Let's go ahead and do the last bounty, which is clear the Western Channel, and then we can open up our Herodric Cache, which is something that you get for completing. What? There's so many. What? There are so many like little ways to go. Obviously the one that's glowing is the direction you want to go in, but it's been a while since I've been in some of the later areas of Act 2. So, a little lost. Ooh, going through this level, trying to find the way to the Western Channel level 2. Came across a cursed chest. So let's deal with these vile swarms. And then let's see what we get. Cursed chest of larva. Okay, so more of the enemies that are around here. Not too difficult. Bonus experience, bonus life, and a radiant chest. Radiant chests and resplendent chests are absolutely fantastic when you can find them. Ooh, all right. I'm not going to complain. I like to always give my whatever class I'm playing. They're specifically geared towards weapons. Like I like to give the Barbarian a Barbarian weapon and the Crusader a Crusader weapon and shield. But in this case, this sword, I'll take it. More damage, more healing. I'm not too good to not accept better equipment. Oh, something I totally forgot about. I spaced on them. The new runes, size Hammer of the Ancients. We got the Smash rune, Smash for 640% weapon damage as fire damage, and then Overpower, which is one that we were using. Then I changed to Revenge off screen, the one that deals 300% weapon damage to all nearby enemies. You heal 4% of your max life for each enemy hit. Revenge has a 15. Oh, not a max of 15 life. It's Revenge has a 15% chance to gain a charge each time you are hit. Maximum 2 charges, and that's how you can use it. That's why I'm. Woohoo. And then Overpower was one that we were using, but it got Storm of Steel. Throw up to 3 axes at nearby enemies that each deal 380% weapon damage, so you're just doing more AoE. But I like Revenge because it helps keep me healed. And a new passive, Nerves of Steel. Fatal damage instead reduces you to 15% life. For 3 seconds afterward, you take 95% reduced damage and are immune to all control impairing effects. This effect may occur once every 60 seconds. So I'm kind of torn on that one, but we're going to go ahead and stick with Ruthless for now. So let's find the entrance to the second floor. Okay, unlocked a new passive skill. Weapon Master. Gain a bonus based on the weapon type of your main hand weapon. Swords and daggers are 8% increased damage. Maces and axe are 5% critical hit chance. Polearms and spears are 8% attack speed. And mighty weapons give you 2 fury per hit. let's go ahead with Weapons Master because I am using a sword right now, which will give me 8% increased damage, which is better, not necessarily better than the passive I'm trading it out for, because ultimately I would deal 40% extra damage, but I don't know, it's kind of a trade-off. 8% damage, 8% extra damage all of the time, or 40% extra damage when their health drops below 30. Now that's really good for bosses and elite mobs since they have a really big life pool, but not necessarily better for everything else. And then here we unlocked Sprint. Increased movement speed by 30% for 3 seconds, and that one I didn't normally really use. I still preferred Leap and something else in that category, but it's there if you want to use it. Oh, and I did craft rare shoulders. I think I might have mentioned that, but I don't remember, so guess I didn't. There we go. Alright, finally level 2, and these are pretty similar no matter what act or map you find yourself in. They're usually go into this one area, go to level 2, and then kill all of the mobs in that area. So, let the murdering commence. Ooh, out of that group of rare mobs, nice, new torso. I'll take it. New torso armor, I should specify. I didn't rip out the torso of my Barbarian and pick up one from one of the mobs. Like, that would just be weird. And weird. Ugh. Also, you might think it's dumb that I walk around and I break open all the vases and I turn over all of like the dead adventurers and all that. But I've found a lot of my really good armor from chests and things that I broke in the field or bodies that I turned over. I found legendaries that way. It's still a really good way to find items, and when you break enough things in the world in a row, you'll get bonus experience to doing that. So it's also a little bit of a benefit there. It just depends on your playstyle, but I generally turn and break over everything. Plus, I like causing, mindless destruction of other people's property. So, why not? Found the obelisk that'll take me out of this little dungeon, which is something really cool in Diablo 3 that they didn't have in Diablo 2. When you got to the end of a dungeon in Diablo 2, you cleared floor 1 and floor 2, you had to walk or run all the way back out. Whereas in this game, instead of walking all the way back out, when you actually reach the end of it, you can just take this stone, it'll take you back out, and you can just continue on your merry little way. But here we are, a resplendent chest. This is one of my first resplendent chests on this character. These are my favorites. They're just beautiful. Finally gave us one of our first pieces of jewelry too. Lots of rare items. So that's a good ring early on. Oh, a Barbarian, a rare mighty weapon. Too bad it's not significantly. It's not better than the damage output I have. Same with that polearm. I don't mind polearms. Those wrists, however, I think I'm gonna go for slightly lower toughness, which I don't know how in the hell it figures that out, but those I think are significantly better. And then that should be it. So let's go back to Tyrael and get our reward for completing the bounties. So for completing each bounty, we did get 4 Rift Keystones. The first bounty you complete, you generally don't get Keystones. Getting the blood shards for the bounties, I don't remember getting them for doing bounties. So that may be new, or I may have just not noticed before. So we've got a total of 4 fragments now, and then Tyrael here, massive amount, well, relative to my level, massive amounts of experience for level 17. And a Herodric Cache. So let's go ahead and pop that baby open. Alright, some blood shards, some iridescent tears, but mainly some more rift keystones. So another 2. And some craftables and some new items. So, ooh, I do like that chest. Slightly lower toughness, but way more damage and healing capabilities. And I like that shield a little bit more. Slightly less damage, probably because it's giving me intelligence and not strength. But we can fix that. Something that you would want to note too, the Herodric Cache, people used to break those. They would collect a bunch of Herodric caches at a low level or level off, you know, the adventure mode and collect their Herodric caches. And then they would save them up, get to level 60 or 70, bump up the difficulty as far as they can, and then open the Herodric caches. And that actually would work. You would, the Herodric cache would then give you items based on when you opened them instead of when you obtained them. But now they generate, what they give you is random still, but the level that which they give you, like the relative gear and quality and all that good stuff, is based on when you received the Herodric cache. So there's no point to hoard them, no pun intended, and just open them when you get them. They're a nice little poppy thingy, the thing you open, and it's just a bunch of stuff. Anyways, the shield that I got, we go ahead and take it over here to the... Oh, can only do this with legendaries or rares? I didn't know I couldn't do this with magic. Anyways, magic items. You take your gear here, rare or legendary or set items, you put them in here, and then you'll have a list of the magic properties, and you can click one, costs you some materials and some gold, and it will spit out another set of random set of magical properties. And you could trade out, like, if this shield, I would like to use this shield, probably could still use this shield, but I would prefer 34 strength instead of intelligence or 34 vitality. I could normally do that if it wasn't a magic level shield. If it was a rare level shield, apparently I could. Something I didn't know was a limitation, and now I do. Alright, so let's salvage all of our stuff. Drop it off in the stash. Alright, so let's go ahead and do something cool to end off this video. Let's go kill the final act boss, which I think is here. Or is it here? Zoltan Cool or Belial? No, Belial has to be the final boss in the area, isn't he? I thought Belial is the final boss. He might be the mid boss, but I'm fairly certain he's the act boss. Well, anyways, let's just do a speed montage of me killing the bosses and trying to get some gear drops off of them, which isn't necessarily better than just farming specific enemies, or, you know, doing rifts or opening chests and Herodric caches, but it's just something fun to do, and I get the achievements for the act because you would assume that because I'm not in story mode that I wouldn't get story-based achievements, and some of them you don't. Some certain quest-based achievements you don't receive anymore, but other achievements like killing a specific enemy, you know, 100, 500, 1,000 times, certain rare mobs and certain bosses, you can still get the achievements for. So remember, achievement whore. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, something to note, because I totally forgot about these. I just swapped the sword for the mighty weapon I found from that rare that I just killed. And I swapped my passive back to Ruthless because I don't particularly care for the extra 2 fury per hit. 2 fury, not furries, per hit. Because I can produce enough fury on my own, generally speaking. So yeah, but Frenzy got a rune a while back, actually, and I forgot to check. Each strike has a 25% chance to throw a piercing axe at a nearby enemy that deals 300% weapon damage as cold to all enemies in its path. So let's go ahead and use that. But also, Cleave got a second rune. Reaping Swing, generate 1 additional fury per enemy hit, which is pretty cool. And it turns Cleave's damage into fire. Words. And then I unlocked Throwing Weapon, which is a move that I like because I kind of like adding some range to my characters. Crusader or Templar, I keep bouncing between the two names, but you get what I mean. I like adding range to him as well. So this is a really good one, but it's really pointless until I get Ricochet. Once I get Ricochet, then I really like Weapon Throw. But otherwise, I mean, it will have some good runes. But Ricochet is really the one that I would prefer. So yeah, and then Leap. No, Ground Stomp got a new rune. Increase the area effect to 24 yards. Enemies are pulled closer before the strike lands. So that's kind of cool. And I don't think anything else. Oh, Seismic Slam. Seismic Slam got Stagger. Reduce the cost to 22 Fury. Seismic Slam's damage turns into lightning. So that is something that I can totally do because it costs normally 30. And it can empty my Fury gauge in 2 or 3 swings. I'm all for it taking less Fury to do, to cost. Okay, well that was bullshit. In the middle of the boss, and something happened, and I died, and then I went back to town to repair, and as I repaired, I got disconnected from the server. So, I guess I'll have to kill Belial off screen, and hope I get something cool out of it. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of... No, I was going to say Let's Play Diablo 3. Nope, it's just Diablo 3, Season 3, Episode 3. The first and only 333. If you like this episode, please consider subscribing, thumbsing it up, and sending it to your friends. I would greatly appreciate it. Remember, play more games, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.